There is a song that does it to you. You know the one. Maybe it's a specific note. Maybe it's when the chorus drops. Maybe it's a single lyric that hits at the exact wrong moment. And for a few seconds, your skin rises, your chest tightens, and something moves through you that feels bigger than just sound. Then it's gone. You spend the rest of the song chasing it. Scientists have been trying to explain that feeling for decades. The most honest thing they can say is that it shouldn't exist at all. And yet here you are. First, the feeling has a name. Scientists call it frisson. It comes from the French word for shiver. And it is not a metaphor. It is not you being dramatic. It is a real, measurable, physiological response. Your skin literally contracts. The tiny muscles attached to your hair follicles pull tight. Your heart rate changes. Your pupils dilate slightly. Your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical released when you eat food you love, when you win something, when you fall in love. Your body is treating a song the way it treats a survival event. That should not make sense. Music cannot feed you. Music cannot protect you. Music cannot help you reproduce or find shelter or escape a predator. By every measure of evolutionary biology, the depth of the human response to music is completely irrational. And yet it is one of the most consistent things about us. Every human culture ever studied has music. Every single one. And in every single one, music makes people feel things in their bodies. The question has always been, why? To understand frisson, you have to understand what your brain is actually doing when it listens to music. And the answer is something most people have never considered. Your brain is not passive when it listens. It is not simply receiving sound and filing it away. It is constantly predicting. Every fraction of a second, your brain is running ahead of the music, building a model of what comes next. Which note, which rhythm, which chord, which emotional direction. This is called predictive processing, and it happens automatically, below the level of conscious thought. From the very first time you hear music as a child. You can feel this working right now. Think of a song you know so well you could sing every note. Your body knows what is coming, it leans into it. That physical lean, that readiness, is the prediction system running in real time. When the music does what your brain predicted, you feel a small reward, satisfaction, rightness. The sound fits the model, and the model feels confirmed. This is why familiar songs feel comfortable. Your brain knows what is coming and it feels good to be right. But then something unexpected happens. The music violates the prediction. A chord you didn't see coming. A key change that shouldn't work but does. A voice that cracks on a note in a way that feels too real. A moment of silence exactly where the sound should have been. Your brain's model fails. And in that split second of failure, that tiny gap between what your brain expected and what it actually got, something extraordinary happens. The brain doesn't just register the surprise, it registers it as meaningful, as significant, as something worth paying attention to. And it responds by flooding the system with dopamine. The chill is your brain rewarding itself for being surprised by something beautiful. But that still doesn't explain why only some people feel it. In 2017, a team of researchers at Harvard published a study that changed how scientists think about musical frisson. They compared the brains of people who regularly experience chills from music against people who don't. And what they found was not a difference in musical taste. It was not a difference in intelligence or emotional sensitivity. It was something far more structural. The people who experience frisson have measurably more nerve fibers connecting the auditory cortex, the part of the brain that processes sound, to the areas that process emotion. More connections, physically more. The pathway between hearing something and feeling something is literally wider in people who get chills from music than in people who don't. I find that extraordinary. Not just as a fact about music, as a fact about what it means to be you. You are not more sensitive than people who don't feel this. Your brain is not weaker or more easily moved. It is more connected. The wire between sound and feeling runs thicker in you than it does in roughly half the people you know. And that connection was not something you built. You were born with it, or you weren't. There is a second piece to this. Because frisson is not just about surprise. It is also about meaning. The moments in music that most reliably produce chills are not random. Researchers have mapped them. A human voice entering after a long instrumental passage. A sudden shift from minor to major key. A choir swelling unexpectedly from a single voice. A lyric that arrives at the exact emotional peak of the song. These are not arbitrary moments. They share a common structure. They are all moments of arrival. Something was building. Something was withheld. And then it came. Not just in the notes, but in the emotional emotional architecture underneath the notes. The composer, whether consciously or not, created a need, and then satisfied it at exactly the right moment, in exactly the right way. What you are feeling when the chills come is not just a reaction to beauty. You are feeling the resolution of tension you didn't know you were holding. Music creates a longing inside you so subtle you barely register it, and then it answers that longing, and your body responds to the answer the way it would respond to any deep relief. That is what a chill actually is, your nervous system exhaling. I did not expect that explanation to affect me as much as it did when I first understood it. But here is the part that stays with me. The same brain system that produces frisson is the system that handles social bonding and emotional connection. The dopamine pathways that light up when a song gives you chills are the same pathways that light up when you feel deeply understood by another person. When someone says exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment. Music chills and human connection run on the same wire. Some researchers believe music evolved specifically as a social technology, a way for early humans to feel the same thing at the same time, to create shared internal states without words. Before language was sophisticated enough to say, "We are together in this," music could say it, and everyone who heard it felt it in their body simultaneously. The chill you feel alone in your room with headphones on is the ghost of that. A social experience happening inside a single nervous system. Your brain responding to music the way it was designed to respond to deep human connection. Because for most of human history, you would never have heard music alone. There is one more thing, and it is the strangest part. The songs that give you chills change over time. A song that wrecked you at 16 does something completely different at 30. Sometimes it does nothing at all. And a song that meant nothing when you first heard it can become the one that breaks you open 10 years later, because of what happened in between. The music didn't change. You did. Frisson is not just a response to the sound, it is a response to what the sound means to you now. The memories attached to it, the losses, the people, the version of yourself that was alive when you first heard it. The gap between who you were then and who you are now. When a song gives you chills, your brain is not just processing music. It is pulling on threads that connect to experiences the song had nothing to do with. Finding patterns across time. Recognizing echoes of yourself in something that has no words for what it's describing, but somehow describes it anyway. That is why certain songs feel like they know you. They don't, but they found the shape of something true inside you, and your body responded before your mind could decide whether to let it. The next time it happens, that specific moment, that specific tightening, try to stay with it for a second. It will be gone before you finish the thought. Frisson cannot be held. It exists only in the gap between what was expected and what came instead. The second you recognize it, it has already passed. But what it left behind is real, a change in your chemistry, proof that something in you is still capable of being surprised by beauty. Your body responds to certain sounds the way it responds to the most important moments of your life, with the same chemistry, the same depth, the same physical recognition that something is happening that matters. You have a wire in your brain that connects sound to feeling. It runs thicker than most people's, and somewhere out there is a song that knows exactly how to use it.